a way of taking money from the middle class, bringing it into government, and then allowing the government to distribute it to their pet green job projects, which is run by their own supporters, or whatever I don't know, whatever the version is in Canada, the way how they support their own. And it's a redistribution of wealth, and it's a reorganisation of society, and it's condemning the people of Africa to poverty for generations. You know, for our previous documentary, Mind Your Own Business, we were in Madagascar, and you can't get a hotel room in Madagascar because it's full of environmentalists saving lemurs. I didn't know what a lemur was before I went to Madagascar, and I do now, and I don't really care. It doesn't matter. You know, but there were those environmentalists crying in hotel lobbies about lemurs. They were hugging each other about lemurs, and they were all white, middle-class Canadians and Americans and Swiss people, and all these other rich countries. And they didn't see the most endangered species in Madagascar was a 5-year-old child in a village. There's 5-year-old children with distended bellies in Madagascar, and they were running around crying about lemurs. Now, if it was a choice between the lemur and the child, I will fricassee, boil, fry, poach the lemur. And let the 5-year-old child live. But they want, you know, well, I don't know whether, we need to make people realise that when you ban something, that you're stopping something from having something. It's a very, here we are in the 21st century telling people what the word ban means. You know, ban this, sign this, stop this, stop that. Yeah, when you stop that, somebody does look out somewhere. And we need to show the people, and we need to stop people, white people like me, going to places like Madagascar and telling the world what people of Madagascar thinks. We need to push me out of the way, we need to push David Suzuki out of the way and ask the people of Africa, Madagascar, and Middle America, and Middle Canada, what do you think? How's your life? What's your life like? I mean, when we went to Vivi to find Tiffany, or not to find Tiffany, we went to Vivi to find a character for the documentary, someone who would represent working people. And we were in, it was very tough. It meant it was two weeks of hanging around bars in a town. It was tough, but we did it for the project. So it was myself and my wife who made the documentary. I was one end of the bar, she was the other end. It was the best place for when we were in the bar, we shouldn't really be together. And she started calling me over, just, Tiffany, repeat what you just said there. And so Tiffany said to her, or what are you doing here? She said, making a documentary for global warming. And Tiffany said to Anne, if Al Gore could walk in my shoes for a week, he wouldn't say what he says. And Anne goes, you know, I think we've got our person here. But then, so we called the camera crew, let's start filming. Camera crew came over from Europe. And as the camera crew was flying over, Tiffany phoned us and said, I'm not taking part in the documentary, I'm going to bow out. So we panicked and went to the liquor store, bought a large tray of beer for us, not for Tiffany. I went up to Tiffany's house, and Tiffany said, Tiffany, what's wrong? And she says, well, I've been talking to my mother, and you know, my mother said, look, I don't know who you are, you don't know these people, where they're from, you don't know anything about them, you don't know what they're going to say about you, what they're going to do about you, you know nothing about them. And her mother says, and people don't make documentaries about people like you. Now, that's a terrible thing for a mother to say about a daughter, but the mother is right. People don't make documentaries about people like Tiffany, unless they're making fun of them. You know, they don't make documentaries about people who work for a living, and you know, unless you're making fun of them, middle Canada people, working people. It's only to show them up for their faith, or their love of guns, or how they love hunting, or they love cars. So, I hope this documentary means no one can make fun of people like Tiffany ever again. They have to take them seriously. And we need to push people like David Suzuki out of the way and say, let's ask people like Tiffany, what's your life like, and how is it going to be affected by this legislation and these treaties? And you might find some very interesting answers.